Alright, time to do a flip through of a new campaign setting. So this is Humblewood. So as you can see on the back here, the quick explanation of this is Humblewood is an exciting new campaign setting for 5th edition that includes 10 original player races, new monsters, magic items, and a compelling adventure for 1st to 5th level characters. In the world of Everden, nestled between the mighty Crest Mountain Range and the vast marshes of the Mock Fields, lies a mystical forest known as Humblewood that hums with the great rhythm of nature. It has been ruled for generations by the bird folk who inhabit the great tree city of Alderheart. Humblewood has endured for centuries thanks to the industry and compassion of its people, but now the fires have come and the woods have been thrown into chaos. Flames ravage the land and destroy the homes of the humble folk, stoking a growing resentment against the bird folk, whose cities have managed to avoid the worst of the fire so far. Hatred burns in the hearts of those who have lost lives they cherished, and these once peaceful peoples now take up the sword and turn to banditry. The disaffected turn their gaze to Alderheart and threaten to reduce an age of peace to ashes. Yet there is still hope. Even in these dark times, brave heroes can be found within the wood. Only they can quell the raging flames that have been unleashed upon the land and restore balance to the realm. Will you answer the call? So this is the Humblewood campaign setting. So getting into it, we can see like the usual table of contents and what this is all about. So as my cat's rubbing up against my leg off camera, begging for attention. So you can see good old forward by Holly Conrad. So you can like always just pause the video and scan it, screen, it's kind of like zoom in to kind of read. Yes, that's my cat. Like, yep. Look at me, I'm the big bad cat. Yes, rah. You're in the flip through. Yes. All right. Yeah, you made your appearance now. Yes. Yep, I know. You're such a little douche. Getting in the video, huh? Center of attention and everything, so. Had to make his appearance even in flip throughs. Yes, and now you're up against regular. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so the introduction here, and as we do like the flip through, so you can see the different actual, like this is like the welcome, so like you can see the different characters that you can play. So the bird folk, the humble folk. So like what came to mind for me is kind of like I don't know if people remember the old cartoon movie from Disney with the Robin Hood. All the animals and everything, so that's kind of what comes into mind. So now that goes into the actual races and everything, so that was mentioned. So like you got like all the bird folk here, so it goes through the whole actual description of the bird races, as I kind of have to slide back and forth to kind of like show the name and the picture and stuff. So, and then we get into the actual like the deer, the fox, like Robin Hood himself. I'm probably going to keep referencing that Disney movie cartoon, so that's what kind of reminds me, this campaign set reminds me of. So then you got the raccoons, the Mop Hotch, so a better picture of a fox and everything. So you got your character races, so in characters in the wood, so like got like typical tables, and so usual like flip through. You got like alphabet. Yes. Okay. Yes, you want? Yeah. All right. Here you go. Make another appearance. Yes. See, like I attack. I'm the ferocious cat that has to attack. That has to get attention. Yes. As you. Hey, people are trying to watch the book. Watch the flip through there. So, okay, buddy. I know you want attention and everything. So we're doing a flip through here. Gotta love them. Gotta be attention. Center of attention. So. Yeah, we go through like now the classes. So, bard here, as we got distracted by my cat who wants attention. Cleric, and then like different domains for the cleric classes, and like of course we get like new backgrounds. So, like wind touched, and then like feature find another path. All right, so now we get new feats. So just like this being 5th edition, so then we get into new spells, plus the actual description of the spells. So we'll go through this relatively quickly since like kind of do a quick run through. So then we get into religion of the world. So then like an actual like description of like the different deities and like their like different religious paths, and so then like gets into the description of those. Kind of flip through these real quick. Of all the different ones you can get, of gods you can follow. So like getting back to the cleric class, like in different domains. So there we go. That's perfect. So I'll kind of go through those quickly, and then like the tales of the gods, going through those, and then get into the next chapter. So now we got like the whole map of it. You can see the mock fields, Alderheart here. This is the forest, and so this is basically where everything happens. So like well, kind of small and narrow in scope, you can definitely have a lot of adventures even in a small area like this. And so then it gets into like a traverse in the woods, so you can get into like ideas of how like each small section and everything. So like then it gets into descriptions of like the different things, like the mock fields you saw, the scorched grove, like let's see here, Talon Grip Coast, and so it gets into the description of that, and then of course gets into adventure in the wood, and then of course now we get into like the actual adventure. So kind of flip past that, so we don't give anything too much away. So kind of like flip through. Let's see here. It's probably like still the adventure. So then, all right, here we go, part 5. So probably missing stuff, but like I don't want to kind of ruin the actual adventure in case people want to run through it. So Fate and Flame. So then we go through in this part. So this is like I think still part of the adventure. Yeah, it still looks like it's part of, this is part of the adventure. So I'll kind of flip through that real quick. Yep, this is still part of the adventure, and then get into the actual appendix where we have like the different monsters. So kind of go back to this, kind of just kind of flipping through the different monsters that you can see that you can come across in the forest. So like I said, a bunch of new monsters and everything. So of course you can always pull from like the actual monster manual and the DM guide, and of course like the player's handbook. So like you kind of need at least the player's handbook to be able to run this, so that way you can at least create characters. So like less so the GM guide and the monster manual, because like as you can see, you got monsters in here already that you can use. And so DM guide, like while like I say a good idea to get both DM guide and monster manual. It's not a necessity. You can get this along with like the player's handbook and get straight into like a whole new campaign set, and basically like run a whole new type of campaign, not your typical Greyhawk or Forgotten Realms or Dragonlance. So like this is a kind of like a new one. So this is kind of what drew me to this was, like I said, the old Disney cartoon movie of Robin Hood. And so this one, like I can't really see, like I want to say I spent like about 30-40 bucks on this and everything. So I forget how much I actually paid for it, but this is like the good old Humblewood. As I get it off in screen and everything, the Humblewood campaign set. And so it's as you can see, it's by Hit Point Press. So this is like a kind of like a third party one. And of course, I'm sure people remember the good old OGL fiasco they had like at this point like a year or so ago. And so this is why like I find third party stuff is so great and everything. Of course, I think Cobble Press is like the biggest one. So, but like I said, what drew me to this was like the whole like oh, this kind of reminds me of like the Disney like a cartoon Robin Hood. And of course you can also like, I don't know if people remember like The Secrets of Nymph. That's another cartoon movie back from like the 80s and everything, so kind of reminiscent of stuff like that. So that's what drew me to this and everything. So this is just yet, like I said, like a new campaign setting that you can do, kind of like a new idea for the whole 5th edition. And of course, like usual, you could kind of like copy and paste and kind of like do like a whole shift into Pathfinder using the whole Pathfinder system, but like the legwork to do that would be a little more, because with this being designed for 5th edition, it'd be a little hard to be able to do, considering like at least like first edition does use like the D20 system, and of course second edition is kind of like a built kind of tweaked on that and everything. So you have to like do quite a bit of tweaking to get this into Pathfinder. But like four players of 5th edition D&D, this is like a perfect one. And so like it's relatively easy to set up and everything, and like you got everything that you need in this book. So this is definitely like a something out of the norm of campaign settings, but definitely well worth it if you want to try something different.